Welcome to the Tom Ferry Show. Everybody talks to me about how do I get fast results? How do I get instant success? How do I have the quantum leap in my business? How do I get thin thighs in 30 days or less without diet and exercise? Well, guess what? If that's your mindset, turn this off and go to something else, because none of that works. Emerson's most famous quote, the one that is burned into my brain even as I was working out this morning: do the thing, have the power. Now, you've heard me say this before if you've watched a few shows. Pay attention. Do the thing, have the power. Not, I want the power, then I'll do the thing. I want the success, then I'll do the thing. I want to have great health, then I'll do the thing. You've heard me say before, everything in life is hard. Being overweight is hard. Being in great shape is hard. Being in a bad marriage is hard. Being in a great marriage is hard. Having no money is hard. And guess what? Having lots of money is also hard. I'm asking you today to choose your hard. To choose to do the things that give you the power in your business, no matter when you're watching this, whatever time of the year it is, it doesn't matter. You can start now. And here's the thing. I'm going to give you two considerations, two things I want to talk to you about. One is, there is a formula that I have been following for 2 decades. The thing that keeps me, if you will, on track as a visual and reminder of, is what I'm doing working? Am I getting one step closer to that bigger goal that I'm working towards? Not that immediate goal for the week, for the month, for the year, the bigger goal that I'm striving for. I want to explain that formula so you can use it the same way I do, which allows me to get through the bumps in the road, the upsets, dealing with pissers and moaners, and all that kind of stuff. It gets me through it faster and easier, less drama. And then I want to challenge you with a 90-day opportunity. Something you could do for yourself, for your life, for your business, for your family, for 90 days to once and for all prove to yourself that you truly want the power. So let's begin. Emerson said, do the thing, have the power. Do not the thing, have not the power. I recognize in our business, doing the thing is following through on the right activities for at least 90 days or more to really judge and assess, is this working, is it not? Versus, I picked up the phone call and Tom, I sent those 5 text messages, I didn't get a response, that doesn't work. Or I knocked on a door and it didn't work. I did an open house and I didn't like it, it didn't work. Instead of having that mindset, which is what I'm gonna call a pisser and a moaner, this is my friend and mentor Mike Vance, God bless him, he passed away, this is one of his best books ever, Don't Be a Pisser and a Moaner. Every one of us knows you gotta do things with repetition and track and measure before you see the real results, so you can look back and assess, how good was this, what are the adjustments I need to make, but I'm getting ahead of myself. What if I told you that one of my greatest coaches, Teresa Jabor, sat me down one day and said, so you're starting this business, you're gonna have it for a long, long time, you're gonna be in this business for a long, long time, do you wanna get to the level of mastery? And I said, please define for me mastery. And she said, mastery is when deals and dollars are coming in and clients are being served, whether you're there or not, in a simple business way. And I said, high profits, lots of success, everybody around me is growing, everybody's getting better. She goes, yeah, that is mastery. She said, that's the end result. The problem is everybody wants to get there on Tuesday without doing the work. You and I, we don't operate that way. She then laid out the ideal framework, and this is what I want you to write down in your notes. You ready? It starts with number 1, making a clear decision on what it is you want. Can't be a moving target. How much of what by when? I want to sell 50 homes for the year. I want to do 200 loans for the year. I want to make $400,000. You've got to have a clear and specific goal. And then the hook is, she said, you got to tell everybody about it. You got to plan it out and you got to tell everybody about it. So that's number 1. You got that. We're in 2020. You already know what you want. Do you? Is it clear and specific? If I text you at 3 o'clock in the morning and said, what's your number 1 goal for your life and your business? Could you say, bam, here it is? Or you'd be like, oh, think about that. Number 2, she then said to me, then you got to do as many 90-day cycles in a row as you can. And I said, 90-day cycles. In the software business, we call that 90-day sprints, where we're going to work on this for 90 days to produce a result. I said, do you mean like Emerson, do the thing, have the power? She said, exactly. You have been challenged before with 90 days of gratitude, right? That's always a killer one. I want to talk to you specifically about what you can do in your business to produce breakthrough results in 90 days to shift from this standard of performance to that standard of performance. Not this standard, just from here to here, to raise the bar and do better because you did the work. So 90-day cycles. We're going to get into it deep. The third phase, she said to me, was momentum. And I said, define momentum. She said, when you're like 70, 80, 90 days into a 90-day cycle, when you're starting your second 90-day cycle, and all of a sudden you see things start to accelerate. Clients are coming in, there's more things happening, deals and dollars are closing, like you know what it's that surge of performance where you're in what many refer to as the flow state. Like everything is just flowing, this is working, and you're thinking to yourself, I'm the shizzle, like I'm really good at this. Then she said to me, there's two things that kill what we call the momentum state. And I said, what are they? She said, number one is your ego. You start buying into your success instead of acknowledging what you did to get here. And I'm like, oh God, I've seen that one before, including myself, right? Where you start saying, hey, I'm really good at this, I'm on fire. And then she said to me, and then the second thing happens, you stop doing the work that got you there. Now let's stop for a second. You know what I'm talking about. You're doing your thing, you're doing your open houses, you're doing your mailers, heck, you're sending out little thank you cards, like you're doing any positive activity that drives results, that creates trust, that builds relationships, you're shooting videos, you're doing the stuff, and then all of a sudden, you're like, hey, this is really working, I'm doing great, I'm so busy, I got all these clients, and then you stop doing the thing that gave you the power. You stop doing what put you into momentum. Have you been guilty, yes or no? Think about it. You should write a comment right now and say, guilty, 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 because most of us have been there. She then said to me, when that happens, the hard part is you literally have to hit the reset button and just start the 90-day cycle over again. Look at my writing partner over here. Like, that's what you have to do. You have to stop and say, okay, I went 2 weeks without doing my calls. I went 2 weeks without doing open houses. I went 2 weeks without focusing on the mailers, the marketing, and everything else I'm doing. I stopped it. I killed my performance. I killed my momentum. I did it. I got to start a new 90-day cycle. Make sense? Then she said to me, after you do that and you get into momentum, you go to phase 4, which is stabilization. So think about this. You do 78 days of calling 5 past clients a day, texting 5 past clients, calling, texting, whatever you want to do. Talking to 5 new people every day, wearing your name badge, going to Starbucks, and they just come up to you and say, hey, how's the market, right? Like you're doing these activities. You're doing 90 days of open houses. You do 90 days of emails. You do 90 days of booking appointments. You do 90 days to challenge yourself, to truly show yourself what you're capable of. She said, what happens is all of a sudden now, you've created all this new production. If you don't stabilize that new standard of performance, what happens? You crash and burn. So what happens? You got to relook at your systems. You got to relook at your checklists. You got to look at the software you're using. Do you have enough people to support you? Like you've seen it before where all of a sudden you go nothing, 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 6 deals. And then when you have 6 deals going and you're used to nothing, now you have no time at all. Suddenly you're like, do I need a transaction coordinator? Do I need more support? Should I get an assistant? And her answer and my answer to you is, if you don't stabilize your new level of performance, you will fall back down, right? You will fall back down to where you are most stable. Does that make sense? Most systems, most processes, organization, communication, people, you're gonna fall back to that level. Stabilization is the key to sustainable growth. She then said to me, from there, Tom, it really just repeats itself over and over and over for a while. And I said, explain. She said, literally, you're gonna go through a couple 90-day cycles, 2, 3, 4 of them. That could be a year, my friend. That could be a year of just 4 90-day cycles, just going after it, trying to not have the ego get in the way, trying not to kill your momentum and stop doing the thing that gives you the power, right? You're constantly in that game of like mental toughness, doing the right thing, committing to excellence, like really, truly in your heart of hearts, knowing why you're doing it, all that, right? She said, then after a couple years, that's when all of a sudden it goes like this. And you've experienced this. I see it in my own business. I'm like, okay, we're doing the thing, we're doing the thing, we're doing the thing, we're doing the thing, we're doing the thing. We're starting to get some power, starting to get some power. Keep doing the thing, keep doing the thing, keep doing the thing. And by the way, that was 5 years. 5 years of just doing it. And all of a sudden, boom, you jump to this new level. They would call that the quantum leap. They refer to it as sudden and unpredictable bursts of results. right? I'm not talking about no deals, no deals, no deals, but you know you got it in your pipeline and you do 4. I'm talking about you've been doing 30 transactions a year and you go 30, 90, right? It's because you've been building up all the momentum, doing the thing, stabilizing, doing, stable, doing, stable. You with me? Knock, knock, ding dong, hello, right? Ding, like over and over and over and over. I should do that all the time. I like that. Knock, knock, ding dong, hello. That's sending out mail or email. And then ding, right? Over and over and over and over. And then guess what happens? Guess what happens? Boom, you have the quantum leap. And then what must you do? Restabilize or lose it. Restabilize or lose it. I see it all the time. Tom, I had my biggest quarter ever in the 4th quarter of last year. We did so much production. And I say, did you stabilize for the new standard? Huh? And then they come out of the gate in January. Ah! It happens all the time. So do you get the formula? Do you get the formula? Commit to what you want. Get it up in visual. Tell everybody about it. Start executing on 90-day cycles. Start thinking of it as, I've got 4 quarters in this year, and if I can get as close as possible to executing on my 90-day principles, on my 90-day standards, if I can do it 4 times in a year, I'm going to get into some serious momentum. I'm going to really recognize my greatness. I'm going to see how much I can really do versus, you know, the person that did a couple days of calls, did one open house, sent out some mailers now and then, and was basically playing at this game versus going all in. You with me? And then what do? You stabilize, more 90-day cycles, you stabilize, more 90-day cycles, you stabilize, more 90-day cycles, notice the plural S, and then boom, the quantum leap happens. And you either stabilize and go back to 90-day cycles, or guess what happens? Rich, poor. Rich, poor. And you got to decide, my friends. If there was a get-rich-quick way in real estate, if there was truly a way to say, hey, you know what? Here's the easy path. Don't you think I'd be offering it? Don't you think that would just be the easiest thing on the planet? And even today, where you can arbitrage and buy leads, that's still not easy. Buying leads is hard. Not having leads is hard. Self-generating leads is hard. Like, only buying leads is hard. It's all hard. It's all hard. Choose your hard. You with me? Choose your hard. So, I would love for you to map that out. I have it just on my bathroom mirror. It's just a reminder that I'm 16 years in this business. Happy anniversary a couple of weeks ago. And you know what we're in right now? A 90-day cycle called Q1. Let's all do the thing that gives us the power every single day. Let's track and measure it, right? Track and measure it in our journal, track and measure it with our software. Let's know that we're making it happen. We're doing the right things over and over and over. We all make mistakes. We all get off track, but we get back on track. You with me? When you do that, your growth is going to accelerate and you're going to be a very happy person in your life and in your business because success begets success. Make sense? So here's my 90-day challenge for you. I would love for you to ask yourself this question. What are the 3 to 7 non-negotiables? 3 to 7 activities, non-negotiable. Like I do these, like I brush my teeth, like I take a shower, like I, say hello to my spouse, like, the things that you don't even think about, that you just do automatically. What could those be in your business? That when you do those for 90 days in a row, that's 7 days a week in case you're wondering, or 78 days in 3 months, 90 days, and you take 1 day off a week, I don't care. What can you do to prove your greatness? I would argue it might be getting up and exercising. It might be reviewing the daily hot sheets because we're in the business of knowing more than our buyers and sellers, and that's important. It might be practicing what to say and what to do in every selling situation so I can negotiate with great empathy. I can get a better result. I can help more buyers that are in research phase or transaction phase. I can convert more sellers. I can get more appointments because, my goodness, knowledge equals confidence and ignorance equals fear. Make sense? And then 5542. Make 5 calls to your database, have 5 new conversations, do 4 lead follow-ups, shoot 2 videos every single day because it's 2020 and it's time, and you do that every day. And then you might say, I want to book an appointment, I want to go on an appointment. Yes, you decide. But everything has to be, as Jeff Olson once said, author of the book, The Slight Edge, by reading 10 pages of a good book every day, does it change your life that day? No. Does not reading 10 pages of a good book every day, not doing it, does it change your life that day? No. But do it 365 days in a year. That's 3,650-ish pages, I think if my math is correct. And you know what? If you read 15 good books in a year, you would transform your thinking forever. Do the thing, have the power. So are you up for the 90-day challenge? Give me a thumbs up, give me a thumbs down, make a comment, let me know. If you need a journal, go to my website, get one of these, right? Do something. Because if you don't track and measure it, if you don't be honest with yourself and say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, I did my 10 contacts and I did it today and I did it this many days in a row, then that many days in a row, then that many days in a row, boy, the momentum you will be in quicker than you can imagine will be extraordinary. So I challenge you to truly make this an exceptional year by doing the thing that gives you the power. Let me know if you're in, and I'll keep sharing and I'll keep pushing. If you haven't texted me yet, 949-216-5466, let me know how you're doing. Let's all get into action. That is the game. I'm out.